Welcome to this video about the graduated approach, assess, plan, do, review cycle. What is the graduated approach? Where a pupil is identified as having special educational needs or a disability, SEND, to enable the pupil to fully participate and make good progress, schools should take action to remove barriers to learning and put effective special educational provision in place. SEN support arises from a four-part cycle, known as the graduated approach, through which decisions and actions are revisited, refined, and revised, leading to a growing understanding of the pupil's needs and of what supports the pupil in making good progress and securing good outcomes for them. The four stages of the cycle are assess, plan, do, review. Personalization as part of normal practice. Within a culture of high aspirations for all pupils, the graduated approach starts at whole school level. Teachers are continually assessing, planning, implementing, and reviewing their approach to teaching all pupils. Where a potential barrier to learning has been identified, this cyclical process becomes increasingly personalized. Individualized assessment leads to a growing understanding of the barriers to and gaps in the pupil's learning. Continual reflection on approaches to meeting the pupil's needs leads to a growing understanding of strategies that enable the pupil to make good progress and achieve good outcomes. And in this spiral of support, the graduated approach draws on more personalized approaches, more frequent review, and more specialist expertise in successive cycles in order to tailor interventions to meet the particular needs of the individual pupil. The role of class teachers. Class teachers are directly responsible and accountable for all pupils in their classes, even when pupils are receiving support from a teaching assistant or other specialist staff, within or outside the classroom. The responsibility and accountability for the progress and development of pupils with SEND lies with the class teacher. The SENCO shares this responsibility with class teachers, providing professional advice and training and working closely with parents and carers and with external agencies to ensure that pupils fulfill their potential. A basic assess, plan, do, review approach for class teachers. Often, class teachers will be the first people to notice pupils with possible SEND. With a system where staff can raise concerns and seek advice, teachers should be guided by the SENCO to reflect on their high-quality adaptive teaching strategies and reasonable adjustments. Assess. What have you discovered about the needs that are causing concern? Have you considered formative as well as summative assessment information? Plan. What adaptations do you think need to be made to address the needs and concerns? What about helpful strategies or resources? How will the resources be used? And which strengths can you utilize? Do. How long will you give your plan before you decide to review? Are any tweaks needed along the way? And review. Have things improved for the pupil? Do you need to give things more time? Was your plan implemented consistently? The assess part of the cycle. Identifying SEND involves a wide range of potential activities over time. This usually starts with quickly identifying a pupil who is not making expected progress or who is otherwise causing concern, for example, poor behaviour or engagement. Then, exploring whether teaching and lessons is high quality, and if not, making changes to improve the quality and effectiveness of teaching. The assess part of the cycle typically then involves the following work, which will be undertaken before and during the plan, do, review parts. Step 1. Collating information from sources that are routinely available in the school, including staff views, parent views, pupil views, lesson observations, progress and attainment records, baseline assessments, classwork samples, and behaviour or pastoral support records. Step 2. Using SEND screeners to explore whether the pupil shows signs of some types of SEND, including basic checklists and standardised tools. And step 3, if necessary, making referrals to external assessing professionals. The plan and do parts of the cycle. It is important to recognise that extra support never compensates for a lack of high-quality teaching. Start with planning and implementing both adaptive, high-quality teaching strategies in routine lessons across the curriculum, based on the pupil's presenting profile of needs, including signs of types of SEND. This is sometimes referred to as differentiation. And reasonable adjustments to further reduce potential barriers to learning. Plus, if necessary, provide the pupil with one or more targeted interventions which can be provided in class and/or outside of class. Important elements of these parts of the cycle include joint planning between the SENCO, teacher, and involved support staff. Advice, modelling and training provided by the SENCO. And efficient and transparent recording of communication systems, for example, information on school information systems, pupil profiles, and provision maps. The review part of the cycle. Teachers continually review their pupils' progress, formally and informally, and this should be no different for pupils with SEND. It is not necessary for teachers to wait for formal review meetings before reviewing and, if appropriate, making changes to adaptive teaching approaches, reasonable adjustments, and interventions. Progress towards meeting planned outcomes should be tracked and reviewed at least once a term, and the outcomes of the review should feed directly into the next planning phase of the graduated approach. Here, schools should utilise whole school systems wherever possible, for example, regular pupil progress meetings to review the current outcomes of pupils with SEND. Evidence can be taken from a variety of sources such as observation, assessed work, intervention impact records, and provision maps. Both pupil voice and parent voice should be included. There are several key questions to ask in the review part of the cycle. Has the pupil made progress from their starting points? Has the pupil achieved or partially achieved the targets set for them? Are the skills being acquired through targeted interventions transferring to their learning in routine lessons? The outcomes of this review should feed back into the assess part of the cycle and the setting of revised targets and provision for the following term as part of the plan part. This is the end of this video. You can view more videos on this channel in the Bite-Size series, including other Bite-Size SENCO videos.